Welcome to part 2 of Bianca the Bunny tutorial. We're going to start off by making the ears, and to do this we need to make a magic ring. So first, grab your yarn and wrap it around your top 3 fingers, making an X on one side and 2 parallel lines on the other side. With your crochet hook, go under the first loop, over top the second, pulling the second under the first loop. Twist your hook, grab your yarn, and pull it through. If you didn't quite catch that, don't worry, I'm going to play it again for you in slow motion. If you're still having trouble with the magic ring, I do have a separate tutorial link down below that you can watch as well. Next, we're going to place 6 single crochets into this magic ring. So just single crochet like normal. Just make sure you're single crocheting over top both the loop and the tail. So as you can see, I am crocheting over 2 different strands of string. One is the tail and one is the actual loop itself. If you're not crocheting over top both of these, you're not going to be able to pull it shut. So now that you have your 6 single crochets, just pull the ring shut. Again, if you have trouble with this step, there is a separate tutorial link down below that you can watch as well. So now that we have our 6 single crochets in our magic ring, we are going to place our first single crochet of round 2 in the very first stitch. Make your single crochet and then mark that stitch with a stitch marker. In the next stitch, we are going to be placing an increase. So in this stitch here, we are making an increase. And in the next stitch, we are making a single crochet. In the next stitch, increase. And in the next stitch, single crochet. In the last stitch of the round, we are going to be placing an increase. And now we have 9 stitches in our circle. Moving on to round 3, we can remove the stitch marker and place our first single crochet of the round. As always, mark that stitch. And in the next available stitch, we will also be doing a single crochet and then increase in the next stitch. Single crochet, single crochet, increase. Single crochet, single crochet, and increase. Now we should have 12 stitches in our circle. Now I'm going to pause and weave in the tail end here. So make sure you pull on it really tight and then weave the tail onto your yarn needle. And you're just going to weave in this tail in and out little stitches in the bottom just to make sure that the initial magic ring doesn't come undone. For the ears, I like to trim the tail a bit just so that it's easier to work with it because it is quite a skinny and long piece. And then for rounds 4 and 5, we are just doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 12 single crochets. So for round 4, remove your stitch marker, place your first single crochet of the round, and mark that stitch. and then just single crochet in each stitch around the circle until you get back to the stitch marker for a total of 12 single crochets. For round 5, we're doing the exact same thing as round 4, so remove your stitch marker, place your first single crochet of the round, and then mark that stitch. And then we are going to be placing 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 12 single crochets. Coming up on the last single crochet of round 5. For round 6, we are going to start off by making our first single crochet of the round and marking that stitch. Make another single crochet in the next stitch. And then we are going to make a decrease. So single crochet, decrease. Single crochet, and decrease. And now we have 9 stitches. For round 7, we are going to be making 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So make your first single crochet of the round and then mark that stitch. And then just make a single crochet in each one of these stitches for a total of 9 single crochets. For round 8, we're doing the exact same thing. So remove your stitch marker, place your first single crochet of the round, mark that stitch, and then place 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 9 single crochets. For round 9, we are going to remove the stitch marker, make your first single crochet of the round, and then mark that stitch. In the next stitch, we are going to make a decrease, and then we are going to make a single crochet, and then decrease, single crochet, and decrease. And now we have a total of 6 stitches in our ear. For round 10, we are just going to be doing a round of single crochets. So make your first single crochet of the round and then mark that stitch. And then continue making single crochets until you reach the stitch marker. Round 11 is our last round of the ear, and again we are just doing a round of single crochets, so make your first stitch of the round and then mark that stitch, and then continue making 1 single crochets in each stitch around for a total of 6 single crochets. To close off the ear, we are just going to remove the stitch marker and make a slip stitch. So to do that, all you have to do is insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through all the loops on your hook, just like that. And then you can trim a tail, leave about 12 inches or so for sewing, and pull the yarn through. There you have your first ear, and then you can repeat this section of the video and make a second ear. Next, we are going to make a bow for the bunny. So grab your pink yarn and make a slip knot. If you're not sure how to make a slip knot, this is the way I find easiest personally. Again, I'll play you that in slow motion. Once you have your slip knot, you can pop your hook into the loop and then tighten it around your loop. Next, we are going to make a chain. So to do that, all you do is yarn over and pull through the loop that's currently on your hook. Do that again and one more time. Now you have a chain of 3 stitches. You can see here, this is 1, 2, and 3 chains. We are going to be working into the first chain that we made, so that's this guy here right by the slip knot. So first we are going to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over again, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, so yarn over, pull through 2, just the first 2 loops on your hook. You have 2 left, yarn over again and pull through 2. That's a double crochet. We're going to do this again. So yarn over and insert your hook into the first chain stitch. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. Next, we are going to chain 2. Insert your hook in the same hole that we've been working into. Grab the yarn and make a slip stitch. That's 1/2 of the bow. Now we're going to do that again. So chain 3. Going in the same hole again, we're going to make 2 double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over again, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 2. And then insert your hook and make a slip stitch. And that is our finished bow. So you can cut your yarn and leave a tail about 20 inches long or so. And then I just like to take one of the tails, preferably the longer one, and wrap it a few times around the middle to make it more of a bow shape. And then I'm going to take the 2 tail pieces in the back and I'm going to tie them in a double knot together to make sure it doesn't come undone. Just make sure the bow is shaped how you want it before you make that double knot. To finish off the bunny, we're just going to sew the 2 ears on. So if you've never sewed before in crochet, don't worry, it's super simple. Just grab your yarn needle and thread the yarn onto the needle. And you're just going to take one of the ears and place it how you'd like it to sit on the head. I like my ears to be about there. That's 1 round down from the top. As you can see, it's directly behind one of the eyes. And all you're going to do is you're going to take your needle and poke it through 1 stitch of the body and then 1 stitch of the ear. And just go around in a circle, poking your needle into a body stitch and an ear stitch. This is a simple whip stitch. Just make sure you're not moving the ear around as you're sewing and make sure that you keep it straight. Make sure you're sewing into each one of the ear stitches. There should be 6. And if you want to do a couple extra stitches, you certainly can, just to make it more secure. Now that the ear is nice and secure, you can weave in the tail end of the ear. And then you're going to do the exact same thing with the same ear on the other side. Just really paying attention to how they're lining up and making sure everything is symmetrical as you're sewing the second piece on. Now your bunny should be looking something like this, and you can take one of the ears and bend it over with your thumb and it should stay in place pretty well. You can kind of shape the ears however you'd like. Next we're going to make the nose. So grab your pink yarn and thread it through your needle. And here we're just embroidering, so it's pretty simple. I like to use a double strand like this, and then I pick 2 holes that are in between the eyes, making sure everything is nice and symmetrical, poking my needle in just like this, and then I'm just going to go over that line a couple of times, making sure I'm going in the exact same holes as I go over the nose. And then on the second time around, I'm going to poke my needle out into the bottom in the middle, making sure it's in the middle, just like so. And then I'm going to stick it back up through the nose and up through the head, and that's going to create a straight line going down. Embroidery takes a little bit of practice for the face just to get everything nice and symmetrical, so if you have to cut out the nose and do it again, don't worry about it. Practice makes perfect. And then you can tie the 2 ends together, trim them off, and then poke them back into the body using your scissors. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other ends of the nose. Just going to thread them on my yarn needle, poke them out a different hole of the body just to get them away from the initial embroidery. Make sure they come out the exact same hole so that when you tie them in a knot together, they're not covering up a body stitch. And then you can trim them and poke them back into the body. For the bow, you can really place this wherever you'd like. I like to do it on the right ear, but you can put it on either ear or down at the bottom like a little bow tie. It's totally up to you. All you're going to do is grab one of the yarn ends of the bow, and you're just going to sew it onto the body wherever you choose. So I'm going to stick it through 1 stitch of the ear, and then I'm going to stick it through 1 stitch of the bow. I'm going to go back and forth on that a few times to make sure it's really secure. There you have your cute little Bianca the Bunny. Again, shape out the ears however you'd like. I like one of mine to be bending down. This is a super cute Easter gift to pop in an Easter basket or just as decoration on your shelf. Thank you guys so much for watching.